Okay, today is the 8th of March 2021. Today is Monday. Trade the Boys members only. Morning MAO. All right, morning MAO, not MOA or, or other things. All right, morning MAO. And MAO, still people asking me what it stands for. Okay, it stands for Market Analysis and Outlook. MAO. Okay. All right, we can fix anything. Federal is data dependent. All right, so this is the caption for this morning. So it's a little bit of sarcasm inside here itself, but I'll explain to you why is that so. Okay, let us begin this morning MAO. All right. So guys, good morning to you. Now, before we start this morning, I want you guys to give you all the love. Give all the love to the ladies. Come on, guys. Give all the love to the ladies. I want you to give all the love to the ladies that we have in our group chat. All right, we want you guys to really know that these ladies have done a great contribution to humanity, mankind, and of course, did a great service to us, to the men, all right? So all the guys, please love the ladies, all right? Okay, love them, okay? Your mom, your sisters, your wives, okay? Your girlfriend, the legitimate ones, obviously, okay? And make sure that tell them how much you love them and appreciate them, not only today, but the rest of their life, okay? All right, so today is a very special day to all the incredible women, especially those who are in the workforce, who are frontline, still helping us to, take care of all the current COVID-19 situation right now. All right, respect for them, all the nurses, doctors, all the frontline staff. Okay, salute to you once again. Okay, so this day is actually this is on the internet It's on the Socialist Party of America designated this day in honor of the 1908 government worker strike in New York, where the women protested the working condition. All right, so this is what I figured out from the internet. So if I'm wrong, I apologize on that. But again, nonetheless, we should have a day to honor all these great ladies. All right. So this is the Happy Women's Day. So guys, enjoy. Now, why? Yeah, it just incredibly, it came back nicely that today we have this incredible, what do you call? Yellen to be the one fronting this today's sharing. You can see that Yellen here itself, this cartoon is very cute and it just really, pinpoint it very well. So Yellen says that we can fix anything. So this is the economy. It's all broken, tainted, but as someone put money and you just, paste them at the right places, actually this duct tape itself will definitely help the economy. So this is what she's actually trying to say. Okay. All right. So do I pay attention to the data? Depends. Okay, that's why they are meaning they're data dependent. It's a very good one, actually. All right, so why do I want to rub it on her? Because again, I mean, if you have been following the financial market, you would have actually noticed that something this have happened. Now, back in 2018, when the market, where Yellen was not the Treasury Secretary, right? She says this. The rising deficit is unsustainable, and if I have a magic wand, I will raise the taxes, right? This is what she said back then in 2018, and I went to check back, it's from CNBC. But apparently now, right, she recently have another view. She says that now, no, Congress should go big for the COVID relief package. Now, of course, I'm trying to, it's not on context, because back then itself, the market was going up, right? And now it's because COVID, so it's different thing, I understand. But back then itself was $1 trillion. Now it's $4 trillion. So, my question is, the rising deficit itself, how big is big for her? But again, I'm not saying that she's not correct. In fact, she's totally correct, but just that you just try to rub her on, okay? All right. Okay, anyway, Jerome Powell is definitely well liked by the bulls. Okay, the bulls really likes him. You can see that, right? Okay, well done. Now, basically for him itself, what he's done, he has said that, okay, so what? Okay, inflation is part of the transitory moment when the economy is opening up. That is true. That is true. When the economy is recovering or opening up itself, it's very normal to have this thing ongoing. But the question is this, all right? If the economy is doing so well, in your opinion, then why are you still pumping lots of money? And do you know that what would this lead to? So later on, at last part itself, right, I'll tell you something that happened back in 1923 itself, right, to a certain country, which similarly is having the same, could basically like the mirror of what is happening in US right now. So let's take a look on that particular segment towards the end of the MAO. All right, so let's motivate one another once again. The secret to getting ahead is getting started. Now, of course, you need to get started. Now, some people have been asking me, Cal, can we try to make, let's say, 10,000, 20,000, or 50,000 from gold trading soon? I tell them, say, look, then if you want to make those money, you have to prepare yourself. You got to get your money, your capital ready. And of course, you must get your indicators ready. So some of them telling me that, Cal, I don't have the money. Cal, I don't have the indicator. Now, seriously, the indicator, it costs you $96 per month. I'm pretty sure it is very within affordability. And of course, this is a business, right? If you have to conduct a business and your cost is only $96 plus your electricity bills, I think that is the minimum you should be able to afford, right? Seriously, that's something that I see from that point. Like if you're telling me you make 10,000, 20,000 by the end of this year. Now, some people asking me, so, Cal, waiting that the gold market will really go up and stuff like that. Later on, towards the end, I'll explain to you why it's that so. But more important thing is that you have to apply what you learn. If you don't apply what you learn, then it's really fruitless and pointless. End of the day is that we have been trading the market with the techniques that we've been taught. Okay, we just have to follow through because the boys, apparently when they buy and sell, they really pay close attention to certain details, and apparently we do know those details. All right. So later on, we're in the Dow we do the Dow recap, right? You will see how powerful our system is, and of course, as traders, you can actually take full advantage of that. All right. So in case you have missed what we shared last night, okay, last night we have a great session. Nearly about 50 to 100 people came online. I can remember that. Okay, 75. This was screenshot later part. All right, so you can see a lot of people came online. All the students came online because we share a very powerful technique. It's called the ROC technique and the commodity direction. All right, so after last night, right, okay, I received a lot of messages asking me, Cal, how to buy commodities, how do we get involved in this? I will explain more in details on tomorrow's Super Tuesday, okay? Tomorrow's Super Tuesday, I will recap again ROC in greater time, more time, right? I'll recap a little bit more. And of course, I will also explain to you how you can actually benefit from this run itself, okay? So disclaimer as usual, guys, disclaimers as usual. So please make sure that you know your current financial situation, all right? It is really, you must think about this, I'll put it this way, okay? It's just like asking me now, you have $2 now, you're very, very hungry. Should you use this $2 to buy lottery ticket or use this $2 to buy a bun or buy a meal? All right, this is something that you must understand this. You cannot just buy on hope and doesn't know their financial situation. Yes, of course, this $2 you buy lottery, you may strike, but the chance of it is 1 to 14 million. So what do you want to do, right? I think survival is very important first. So get yourself ready first, okay? And then after that, if you are ready to move forward the next step, right, do it slowly. The market is always there. You don't need to rush into it, all right? So take your time, all right? I believe there's still a couple of weeks to months for the market to stabilize first before the commodity market or even gold market start to move higher. So guys, spend this time now to do some saving, okay? So let's just go through. Oh, sorry, I think I did not change the keywords here. Hold on a minute. Oh gosh, sorry. This morning I was really rushing for time. Okay. Okay. Just give me a short moment, huh? Okay, this morning I was really rushing a little bit, so I didn't have time to change some of the stuff. Just give me a moment. Can we just do some correcting of the titles? Just only a few more. Okay, one more to go. Okay, done. Sorry about that. Okay. Sorry. Okay, right. Senate passes bill. Yes, on Saturday morning, we saw the Senate passes the bill. And of course, what happened now? The Dow Jones was happy with it. And Dow Jones gave up 130 points from there itself, all right, on the futures side. So apparently, right, in order to make sure that, they get the bill settled, right, they basically did a lot of changes. The Democrats did a lot of changes to win the support of all their members. So obviously, right, because some of the members from Democrat crossed over to the Republican side to actually go against the bill. So of course, it didn't go through. So when they make sure they ask those people who are not happy with it and basically, really curve feed it to make sure that everyone is happy. Because as you know, in the Senate, right, apparently it's all right, even it's 50-50, as long that Kamala is there, there'll be a go through. So apparently it went through after they have basically win the support of all his own members. Well, that's why I say it's very ridiculous at the end of the day. But anyway, this is what is happening right now. One reason why some of them are actually not that happy is that they say that now we have a better job earnings on Friday, right? Then why do we need to spend more money? Because the more you spend money yourself, right, the more you spend, the bigger hole you dig for yourself. So that is a very valid point, but apparently it doesn't matter anymore. It has passes through. So basically it's all right. The House Democrat plans the final approval on Tuesday, the final approval, but obviously it will just go through. No need to say. So it will go through, okay? And I said before, 2 weeks ago, I've been telling you it will happen, and it really, really happened, all right? So this is something that you do not need to worry too much. Now, the thing is this, what happened now is more important is that US, okay, US, they say that they will defend their troops and interests after a rocket attack in Iraq. So again, apparently this Iran thing is still happening once again, all right? It's still happening once again. So of course, Iraq side is all right. They are saying that this is, they are saying that Iranian says that they are not involved in this. But of course, there are some signs that pointing them because they do want to sign the nuclear deal. And of course, US wanted that. And this is very typical, US, Iran, Iraq thingy. It's been going there for years and years and years. It's never been ended. So end of the day is this, I don't think that when anything happened, because we haven't seen it before, nothing have very big happen until, last time when Saddam Hussein was around. So this is something that's ongoing, but I don't think this will be a big problem. Now, this is a problem because the Japan investors, okay, Japan dumps US bonds. So apparently, that last Thursday, apparently the way the bonds came off was because there were no buyers in the market and they were full of sellers. So the Japanese investors sold a record amount of foreign bond, obviously US bonds, all right. And why? There's no reason given, but apparently it was quite a big one. Okay, it's the biggest 2-week selling since 2005. So the last 17 years, this is the biggest selling. So the thing is this, they are saying that because they have sold what they bought this year, which is just 2 months, they're gonna buy back. I don't know, because they say that they are expecting the participant to come back to buy when the new financial year starts next month. So okay, maybe financial year April, right? So maybe they'll buy, but maybe they'll buy because they know the price could be better, right? That's the reason. That's how I see it. So, well, I will say that, right, if the people are getting worried, they're getting jittery, and this is why there's a concern for the bonds market. Now, it's very surprising to see our dear friend, Jim Cramer, okay? Jim Cramer is saying that now the Americans are having a better job numbers, then we should be very careful because it's too much or too strong. It could be very crazy. Apparently, it seems to be. So what he's saying that right now, the selling the bond market is not over, and he says that the investors should start to buy deep the next time after the market suffers a big decline. So the question is, is he hinting something? Is he telling people something? We will know, right? We will know what is he trying to say. But apparently it's all right, okay, undeniable, right? What he says is very true. The longer-term treasuries are a bellwether for lending rates. The higher rates make the cyclical stocks, which is the epicenter stock, more attractive, leading investors to reduce their appetite for riskier asset, which is the tech shares. So apparently it's all right. This is why you're seeing all these counters now are moving up very fast, okay? So if you think that this is actually a hint, well, you can take on that. If you think that this is just crappy stuff from him again, then you can just do what you need to do, all right? So Yellen says no to inflation. Yellen says the higher treasury yields signal recovery, not inflation. Now, again, that is what my cartoon earlier shows, right? So to her, it's all right. This is actually recovery, not inflation. But if you actually went through my night evening special MAO, you will see that I actually displayed 7 or 8 commodities that are pretty important to all of us. And apparently it shows clearly that it does has its effect, right? Like lumber price now is at 25 years or higher at all-time high itself. So that's why I will only say that, right, everybody got their own individual view, but end of the day is she's saying that as long that the inflation is, there's even 2% is not that important because that is normal. All right. So she's looking at full employment by next year. All right. Once this 1.9 trillion stimulus plan is in place. So of course, everybody's telling me now, Kel, as long as the 1.9 trillion is in the market, it's going to be very difficult for the US Dow to go down. I say I totally agree with you, but the problem is not the recovery. The problem is inflation, and I'll explain to you more in detail shortly. All right. So anyway, let's look at the Dow. The Dow Jones basically was pretty interesting. The earlier part of the day, it went up. Then after it came down when the federal, and that's actually during cash market, sorry. The cash market actually initially went up because of the very good job numbers. But after that itself, right, the market got jittery and it sold down pretty fast, okay, down about 400 points at one stage. Then incredibly, at one moment, it just hang by itself, okay, hang around there, and then the yields had to come off, right? It was incredible because for the big job numbers, it's very clear the dollar will be going up and the yield should be going up. But apparently, suddenly the yield just dropped by itself, no reason given. So obviously, we know that someone is manipulating it. And once the yield had to drop off, that's where the stock market rally came in. And of course, they just keep on buying, no stopping, keep on buying until the final closing. So either that because they know that something will happen, or someone to leak it out and say that, hey, you know what, the plan will be going through, all this thing is possible. But again, later on, when you see the recap, you will really see that anything that the boys do, we can actually spot it on our own, okay? So the Dow Jones rallied 570 points in a big turnaround, and Nasdaq ended the wow day with 1.6% higher. So Apple went up, Microsoft went up, and basically it's all right. Okay, the 10-year yield eases from back to 1.55% after hitting 1.6 after the surge in the jobs growth, right? So apparently now overall the market seems to be good now, and Jerome Powell still saying that, right? The recent run up caught his attention, but he did not give any indication that the central bank will reel in. So they expect him to do almost near to nothing, and that is what he's trying to say. Okay. So now in terms of futures side, we can see that the futures is trading higher now. Let's go a quick one. Let's take a look. Quick one. This is the futures. Now you can see that although the color change for us now has turned to red color a little bit, but overall the S&P 500 is still trading higher because of the stimulus package. Okay, it's a gap up at the moment. The Dow Jones trading at 31,625. That means that, let's take a look. Okay, the Dow Jones closes at about 31,504 on Friday, and now it's 31,620. So it's actually higher at the moment. Okay, that's the reason why. All right. So let's recap what happened on this Friday, all right, before we go to the Hang Seng market. So what happened was pretty clear. The opening price was here. Okay, guys, seriously, I mean, I don't know how many times must I say this. I'll say this again and again and again. When the market opens above pivot 1 and stay above OP, it is always a buy. Yes, I did mention that the KSI was red, so I did say that, right? If the market go to KTR +1 to +3, do consider that there might be profit taking. And of course, if the market goes below OP, then there will be more selling because the market will bias to the sell. So what happened on Friday? It has both sides of the world. Now, initially, the Dow Jones opened and went down, went below the pivot 1. So obviously, there was some selling, right? You can see that. But once the market crossed above the pivot 1, that is the first sign that the market may be recovering. And of course, if the market goes above OP, that's it. CCRY on the 15-minute chart will be the only thing you should be looking at, and you should be actually buying the market. So let's see what happened, guys. Let's take a look. This is really crazy. So you can see that once the market stabilized above the pivot 1, each time it stabilized, each time the CCRY just happened to be there. Don't you realize that the thing is this, the market turns, right? Color change from red to yellow, that is normal. But if you put a pivot there, right, it becomes a very clear-cut indication. And what was sickening to a point of ridiculous, to a point of, oh my God, look at it, my friends, look at it. Look at the way the market hit the low during the cash market. The market was up by almost, was at 31,200 plus, okay? And it slammed all the way down to 30,751. So the market down almost by 500 to 600 points. But the crazy part is the moment it touches a pivot only, as if that the world knows that pivot exists, And after that, the market do a CCRY, clearly above OP, clearly above pivot 1, and that's it. That's why the Dow shoot up. That's the reason why last night itself, right, when the Dow was going up, I keep on reminding traders, those who are short in the market, consider to buy back some position. For those who want to go long, this is a perfect time to go long. And indeed, the market went all the way up itself. So guys, this is why I'm telling you our system is really incredible, because this pivot 1 was available on your screen at 7 a.m. in the morning, okay? 7 a.m. in the morning already available, all right? Hold on, give me a minute. Okay, 7 a.m. in the morning, right? And then what happened? It really happened. The market just seemed to know. And this is precise level. My God, precise. This is incredible. So dear all, right? Really, if you really put your time and effort into this system is going to, wow, man, it's really insane. I tell you that. Okay, so if you like the system itself, right, please continue to give your support here. Okay, so this is what happened to the Dow on Friday, and let's look at today's market, shall we? Okay, that's what you guys are waiting for, right? Okay, moment, let me just expand the screen a little bit bigger. Now, because time is still a bit early, I can do the norm first. Now, this is the Dow chart, all right. Well, a little bit full of lines, which I don't really like because I don't like a lot of Miss Swan line in my chart, okay? All right, so anyway, this is what's happening today now. The Dow Jones obviously has gapped up and is trading near the opening price, right? Now, earlier this morning, it gapped out, it went higher, that was expected. Then after that, it went down, all right? But then again, the buying came in and stabilized there. Why is that so? If you want to know the answer itself, the answer is this. There is a artificial support here, guys. There is a very strong support here. Can you see this? This is the BNB. So the market now is trying its best to stabilize at the BNB level. Okay, so that is the first level to watch out for. Second of all, you can see that today's MA. Today's MA is at 31,366. So as long as the Dow stays above 31,366, there is no reason to actually panic on the long side, all right? Because it's still above MA30, okay? And of course, I did tell you guys about the trend line that I have, and you can see the market really stabilized. Initially, it went below trend line, but I told you guys this downside may not be too long, and apparently, you see, almost effectively the next day, the market went back above the trend line and stabilized there. So at this moment now, it does seem to tell you that the Dow Jones is still pretty strong, and I tell you guys, this is really down there. All right, this is really something that you need to watch out for. So of course, the question mark is this: Cal, would this means that the Dow will go higher today? Well, all I can tell you is this, guys. I already explained my view on the last night this MAO. All right, for all students only, go and take a look at what I say about the opening price of today. The opening price of today will be the key pivotal point. If the market stay above OP, generally speaking, the market will still go higher. If the market do go below OP, then of course there might be profit taking down back to the MA30 level. All right, so I've given you my view, so watch out for that, okay? Moment. Okay. All right, so this is the Dow Jones chart. You can see incredibly, it's still inside my triangle, so there's no reason to be concerned for, but it looks like more promising towards the upside for now at the moment, unless there is a sign of profit taking coming in. The Dow Jones in terms of numbers is still the same too. Nothing has changed. All right, at the moment now, Dow Jones has stabilized above my trend line. If we look at it from the longer term, this is what is showing you right now in the longer term. The market basically supported, all right, very strongly supported on the trend line. So this is what happened, and that's why the last 2 days, right, when the Dow Jones came off, I did mention to you, be careful, all right? Okay, the only thing is this, like I say once again, the only thing that if any bear is really looking to on the bear side is this divergence. You can see that, this divergence. Divergence means that, right, the RSI reading now is still on the way down, getting lower each time, but the market is going up. So when there's divergence, right, you will need to notice a few things. The main thing is here is that the distance between the bounces got a little bit closer. This is the first bounce, and this is the second bounce. Oh, sorry. This is the second bounce. and now it's the third bounce, and now we could have our fourth bounce. All right. So of course, I'm not too sure how much the market will be going, but if let's say the fourth bounce, okay, the fourth one is basically shorter than the third bounce, then traders, you need to be careful. So let's make it simple. If the market do pull back next few days and breach this trend line again, that means this bounce on the fourth bounce is actually shorter time versus the third bounce. And of course, from the 1, 2, 3 above, this tells you that, right, maybe traders who want to go long in the market need to be a little bit careful because the market is getting a little bit exhausted. And of course, with the divergence in the RSI, that might conquer the whole thing here. All right, guys? So if all clear itself, right, please give me what do you call this key number 1 into the group chat. Okay, number 1 into the group chat. All right, the Hang Seng is going to start very soon, so I'm going to start to go into Hang Seng sharing right now. Now, Hang Seng is expected to gap up, that's for sure. Hang Seng is expected to gap up later. So Hang Seng MLP will be here. Let me bring it down. MLP will be here, so it's going to be pretty positive. The MA30 is somewhere around here, so the MA30 will be the resistance for today, and that's 29,630. So I suspect that Hang Seng may be resisted around here, 29,630. Okay, Hang Seng will be opening in about a 50 seconds time. So let's go to Hang Seng and prepare our trading day. All right, Hang Seng, here we go. All right, so Hang Seng, today we have a KSI that is red, so it's going to be more towards the buyers to the sell. So maybe there might be some profit taking the moment Hang Seng opens. So let's see what do we get to see in a few moments time. Hang Seng will open in about 20 seconds time. All right, so traders, please be on standby. Okay, another 10 seconds, get some water. Okay, come on, guys. Ready? 5 more seconds. And Hang Seng opens. Okay, Hang Seng open. Wow, Hang Seng gap up quite a lot. Hang Seng open at 29,398. That's a big one. That's a big movement. How much is that in difference? Let me just take a look. The Hang Seng gap up almost 400 points. Okay, almost 400 points. But it's kind of expected, right? Because of the bill pass through. So with the Hang Seng gap up 400 points, what do we expect? I expect profit taking if it goes below OP. All right. So if the market opening is prices here with the market now KSI is red in color. If the market goes below OP, there could be some profit taking. But because the market opens above pivot 1, all right, pivot 1 is 28,870. If the market do go above OP, generally go to KTR plus 1 is possible. But once you go to KTR plus 2 or plus 3, traders do consider to take some profit, all right? Now, can we buy a Hang Seng when that happens? Of course, you can buy a Hang Seng. There's nothing wrong to buy, but make sure you buy above OP. Just know that, right, the market is 450 points higher from last Friday's closing at 1 a.m. Singapore time. So definitely it's right. There might be some profit taking first initially. So traders, do take note. This is my view on Hang Seng. There should be some profit taking when the market opened this morning. That is pretty normal. So do expect that. Okay, this is nothing new, right? This is something we know, and we should just basically adhere to it. Okay, so I'll come back to Hang Seng shortly, but Hang Seng now is already trading below OP right now. So this tells you what we say is absolutely live and it's really ongoing. And you see, it really is happening, right? Cool, right? Indeed, okay. All right, so that is Hang Seng. Sorry, now let's go back to the Dow I showed to you. Okay, the Dow weekly chart I show you. The weekly chart, apparently last Friday, we saw that the Dow basically touches, last week in fact, the Dow touches the technical point that I had, okay, the one that I draw for a long time, and it's still working perfectly to the T, all right? The thing is that what is really scary is that the technicality of it is really ridiculous. Because when I draw this trend line, I draw it based on this point here, all right? This point, at point number one here, okay? Then I connected with number 2, right? That was what I did. That was what I did since last year. And apparently it just incredible. Now, the last time when it misses this number 3, it misses this by a little bit. So a friend of mine asked me, do I need to change the trend line? I say, no, you do not change the trend line. You should stick to it and believe in it itself. And apparently what happened, all right, the number 4, which is what happened last week, perfectly touches it and rebound. So that was the reason why I was very concerned when the Dow just came down, when 30,700 plus. I keep on saying those people who are short in the market do consider to buy back some position. And that was my rationale reason. Okay, guys? So if you want to follow me, you just take this weekly chart right now. Go to the Dow weekly chart. Just take this point here about, I think that was about 15th of March period. Then you connect with the one in the November 2020, and you extend it up. You can actually see a very powerful trend line, apparently, and it works like a gem. All right, it's really incredible. And traders, if you are really into trading, you should really consider doing this. All right, guys? Okay, got it? Okay, cool, indeed, it's so cool. Okay. All right, I know I've been receiving a lot of messages asking me, Cal, can you do this? Can you do that? Dear all, I'm having a morning MAO right now. So it's going to be a little bit difficult for me to talk to you while I'm actually doing morning MAO, all right? So do me a little favor, guys. Just give me a moment. After morning MAO, I will get back to you guys, okay? Cool, Steady, All right. Okay, so that is the Dow weekly chart, okay? Pretty good, very impressive, right? Okay. All right, if you guys are impressed by this chart here, can you key the word impressed? If you're impressed, only if you're impressed, okay? Only if you're impressed with this chart that I'm showing you, then you key the word impressed, okay? All right, get some water first. Now, the reason why I want you to keyword impressed is because I want you guys to really consider to draw it for yourself, and then you will know where is the next support of the market. Now, when I say next support, now what does it really mean? That means that, right, it works both ways. Either the market will go there again and stop there, so you can actually consider to, if you are shorting from the high, you can buy back at the low. Number 2, and after you buy back at the low, if the market rebounded from there, you can buy it up all the way up again, and you can make the second wave. But on the contrary, if the market basically, right, bridges that technical point, okay, and go lower, then you know that this is going to be very scary. So that's the reason why I want you guys to draw this line for yourself, okay? Draw this line for yourself. Don't just screenshot and put it somewhere. It's pointless because the gradient will keep on shifting every week, correct or not? So my point is, please draw it for yourself. It will be very useful. Trust me. You know that when I say such thing, you know what I meant, right? Okay. Okay, Hang Seng have went down initially, now have rebounded off from the low, but still below OP. So let's see what happened Hang Seng later. Okay, let's do the Dow first. Now for Dow today is interesting. Okay, let's put it into perspective first. Now the Dow opened very near to pivot 1. So it was a very good for buying. But the problem is the KSI happened to be red in color. So which means that if the market go to KTR +1 to +3, there is a possibility that the market may go into profit-taking mode whenever they see the CCYR, yellow turns to red. So what happened now at the same time, the Dow today, the pivot is 31,678, which this morning the Dow have triggered. So it's not a very good sign because if the market triggered the pivot, but instead of going higher, it went lower, then this could actually spell further trouble, or at least there'll be some profit taking. And I suspect that the market may do profit taking until it basically covers the gap. So the gap is about 31,500 plus area, right? 509, I think. So if let's say the Dow now is at 51,583, I just suspect that, right, the Dow may go down all the way to near or at it at 31,509, trigger first, cover the gap, and then maybe recover. Okay, that is my personal take. This is my personal take. I can be totally wrong. So let's just follow the rules and trade according to plan. Okay, that will be the best. Okay, guys, cool, got it. All right. Okay, thank you. All right. Oh, Colin, yields back to 1.6%. Indeed. Okay, let's take a look at the yield then. I mean, it's fine. Morning MAO, we can do a lot of stuff here itself. Okay, warning. Hold on a minute. Let me just bring up the yields. Okay, here we go. Okay, okay, yes, indeed, the yield is back up again. The yield is back up to 1.59%. Of course, this yield is a little bit delayed. It's about 10 minutes delay, but that's fine. Okay, so end of the day, the yield is getting up. Then the dollar strength also pretty sideways. So apparently it's all right. Of course, there should be some form of profit taking on the US Dow Jones for today. Okay. Now, how about the Nasdaq? Let's take a look at Nasdaq right now. Now, Nasdaq, honestly, I'm telling you, there will be more selling to come. I can be very absolutely upfront with you. I suspect that there'll be more selling to come. Now, let me explain this to you why. Because it got into so technical now. Look at it. The last time when the Nasdaq tries to rebound, okay, that was on this day. Let me just bring it to you. Now, on this day, the Dow Jones, the Nasdaq tried to rebound, right? It tried to rebound. But the moment it hit the point MLP, look at it, the MLP of this particular black candle, the market touches the MLP perfectly, and then after that came off by selling off one of the worst day ever. Okay. Then, of course, if you look carefully, the next day you draw another MLP here. The market just couldn't even stay afloat, okay, and continue to slide. Okay. Then after that, the third day, if you draw the MLP properly, okay, sorry, you draw the MLP properly, of course, then you can see the market going up. And once you broke the MLP, the market go higher. But that was because yes, on Friday, I think there's some leakage, in my opinion. That's why people know that there is something there. So how about today then? How about today? Now, of course, today is very simple. You just draw the MLP again. This is what you have. So as long as the Nasdaq can stay above MLP, I'm fine with that. That means at least there is still potential upside. But if the market loses the MLP for today, then that's it. There will be more selling to come. And I say again, once the yield go past 1.6% itself, right, there will be some crazy selling, all right? There will be some crazy selling in the equity market, especially the Nasdaq counters, okay? So again, where would the Nasdaq be going? Well, seriously, I have no answer for you unless you just follow the MA. Now, the MA 30 is way above, so it's at 13,200, so it's very far away, right? So the one that's holding the fort right now is the MA 200, the MA 200. Now, let me warn you guys again and again and again. Now, the MA 200 is a very powerful support level for the bull. The bull cannot lose MA 200. If the bull loses MA 200, then the market will really go into a heavy selling. So you can see now very clearly 2 trading days ago, the market stabilized at MA 200. Then on Friday, it did that again. Now today is somewhere around here. So that figure itself will be the key figure that you guys must watch out for the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq has to stay above the MA 200 because now it's already below the MA 30. The MA 200 will be the important point. Now trading, there's this thing called a death cross. Well, death cross, usually the media will like to use it to, tell the whole world that how bad things can be. And of course, I suspect that they will also use it later on to, influence a lot of typical traders. So of course, for trading, we always do things before it happens and not when it happens. All right. So of course, if you think that the market is going to go down, this is a good time to short the market and then put a stop loss at some place and aim at the MA 200. Because the last time when Nasdaq did this, whereby it was a death cross, okay, let me just bring back to you. The last time there was death cross, how impactful it was. Okay, let me just bring it there. Okay, hold on, let me just inform you. All right, when there's death cross, it was here, right? But the market is below the MA 30 and also below the MA 200. So obviously what happened, you can see the market goes into a big shakedown. The Nasdaq went down by 1,200 points, but remember that is the time when the Dow Jones, the Nasdaq was at 7,000. So the Nasdaq at that time was 7,000. So 1,000 points, about 14%. All right, that is a lot of money. So again, that was back in 2020. That was where the COVID-19 time. So the question is, will this actually happen again? I honestly believe that it will happen, right? Because a lot of systems now are all algo traded, right? So because of that, if the market really goes below the MA 200, the system will trigger the sell order. Okay, it will trigger the sell order. So that's why I need to be very careful. So Nasdaq today, in terms of our chart, okay, still okay because it's above pivot 1, 12,353. The only problem is that there is the KSI happen to be red in color, so there's selling pressure. And if you look carefully, for those PTP students, take a look now. PTP student, take a look. There is this circuit breaker that we have, right? And now you can see that it's testing the water. So 12,654 is the CB line. And if the market stays below the CB line, you know that usually the market may go into some selling mode. So traders, take a look on this. The Nasdaq will likely be the pivotal point. Like if the Nasdaq can hold up, that is fine. If the Nasdaq goes down, it will likely send a wave across the market. Okay, so that is my personal take on the Nasdaq. All right. So that's done on the Nasdaq. Let's look at gold. Now, gold, basically, you can see right now, gold, all right, gold went down all the way, but it hit a very important level, and that was 1689. Now, 1689 was a Fibonacci figure that I share with you. Again, after no matter how many times I do my morning MAO or stuff, right, or my Super Tuesday, I always have the same question asked. Kel, how come my Fibonacci figure and yours is different? So I straight away ask, which broker are you using? Then the person tell me this broker, that broker. Then I keep on reminding you guys, different brokers have different set of figures. Then you may ask, why is that so? Because there's no central bank, no central clearing for CFD. When it comes to like futures, come to stocks, okay, they have a central exchange, so the data will be the same. So the high and low will be the same. But come to CFD trading, right, with the different time, time they open, then there will be a problem here. That means that the high and low may differ from one another. Now, the price at the moment may not change too much, but sometimes some brokers, they actually pepper in some other condiment inside their data. So because of that itself, right, it created the difference between us. So that is the reason why we need to all use the same broker to trade. And then we do not decost each other. If not, there will be a problem, all right? So, of course, gold price, the news right now, they're looking at gold price to stick around 1,700, all right, after saying that it had dropped from 1,800. Now, okay, this is something, the reason why I bring this up, because this is something that I need you to understand. Now, recently, this jewelry company, okay, they basically came out and basically, because they are closing down, really closing down, so they have great sale on the gold. But the problem is this gold is 916 gold. Now, 916 gold meaning is 8.4 impurities involved, all right? So which means there's not 99.9 gold. So if you want to buy this gold to buy and keep and wear on it, that's absolutely fine. But if you want to reuse it to, right, you don't want to mold it to something else, you will have a problem because, right, what happened, it will likely have some impurity inside there, and that one is the one that's holding the gold. And of course, when you want to melt it for something else or want to resell it, right, when the so-called the expert comes in, they'll tell you that it doesn't worth that much of money. So this is something that you must understand, the difference between 999 gold and 916 gold. All right, there's a difference here. So don't, because the price of gold come down and you think it's cheap, you run in and buy gold, then after that regret unless you're keeping it and pass it on without even looking to sell it later. All clear on that? Okay, so that is the reason why I bring up this, okay? Now, of course, this is what I read from the internet, and I believe it is because I have friends who actually deal with this, but if I'm wrong, I am more than happy to apologize, okay? But, if you can tell me that is what I say is actually wrong, I don't mind. Apology in advance, okay? So why did the gold really rebounded on Friday, the magical 1689 level? If you look at the Fibonacci figure, so what I did is I take this low and then I take this high, okay, to do that, okay? And this is what happened. So when this really happened as well, you do the Fibonacci, you realize that 61.8, which the traders love to use, is trading at 1689. So I will warn this for upfront here. Now 1689 have already rebounded and went up, right? So that's good. But if the market really breaks down below 1689 again, traders do not stand down there, because the next one it should be going will be 1659 level. Okay, so guys, in case you guys have missed a run recently, don't need to chase unless you do intraday rules. If not, if the gold bridges 1689, the next level gold could be going down will be 1659. All right. So back the time when gold comes to 1659, you may want to ask me, Cal, can we buy more gold and stuff like that? Do note the next number that gold could be all the way going down is 1555. Okay, now this one, I don't know will it go there. It all depends on how bad the whole thing develop. But of course, I will tell myself this: 1659 can buy some, and 1555 I can buy some. But the problem is when you do that, that's all right. Do remember, if you bought some at 1659, when the price go to 1555, you're down by $100. Make sure your capital is able to take this impact. Okay, this is very critical. So on Tuesday, Super Tuesday, I'll tell you more how can you do long-term positioning on the gold market the right way. Okay. All right, cool on that. All right, cool, huh? Okay. So let's look at, the gold recap now. Because this morning itself, right, there was some mishap. I didn't take the day chart on gold, so I can only show you what happened intraday. Intraday, the gold was just figuring around, toying around the opening price, so it became a doji. So when it became a doji, we know that today could be a directional day for trading. All right, so today could be a directional day for trading on the gold. So let's look at gold right now. Okay. So this is gold chart. Obviously, the MA30 is way above it. So that's why the bearishness is still there. Okay, let me take out some lines here. Then, of course, the MA30 itself, right? MA200 is way above. So that is why, what I mean by death cross. You can see that, right? From here itself, this is where the market the market goes below the MA30 and MA200 at the same time. And that gave the cascading effect on the gold market going down all the way to now current price. So of course, I say if I want to look at it for a value point of view, if the gold price can come down to 1659, that will be a very good time to buy. But of course, on the RSI indication side, right, we do expect some form of technical support to come in and the technical rebound. But technical rebound, it must come with fundamental to support. Technical rebound on its own is still not good enough. All right, so traders, you need to watch out for that. Okay, so the gold weekly chart, as you can see in numbers, this is what happened earlier. So I already said this, I'm not going to repeat myself. So let's look at today's gold, shall we? Now for today's gold, interesting, we have the pivot one very nearby. So what do we go by rules? Now the opening price is between the two pivot. So if the gold goes above OP, then naturally it's a buy. But the problem is the KSI is red and the blue bars are still heavily on the downside. Of course, there's a KCX blinking right now. So intermittently, there'll be some form of support. But as I mentioned to you earlier, as long as the KSI is red in color and if the market cannot stay above the 1708 pivot one, there should be some profit taking again. So if the market breached below OP, then I suspect that the gold may come down to the next KCB level, which is very near to the pivot 2. But if the gold stays above OP and above pivot 1, buying is still going to be there. Okay, so traders, just watch out for gold today. Look at the pivot for further indication. All right, this is very important. Now for silver price, let me take with silver. Now silver, obviously you can see very strongly it tried to stay above the MA200. Last week silver went down below the MA200, but today it closes trading above it. So you can see that there's some artificial support. But now we can see that silver most likely might be coming down to test the 2468 level that I mentioned. And if it goes there, likely gold will obviously follow through. So this is the first support that I'm seeing. The next support that for silver is about 2350 level. All right. So honestly, if we talk about silver, I'm much more comfortable to looking at it at 2350 level. Now, again, for those people who are caught in silver, who have been texting me over the weekend, asking me how was the view on silver, I will say this up front, gold and silver, they go in tandem now at this moment. So as long as the gold price goes down, silver will also come down. All right, this is something that is very factual. I don't want to lie to you on that. Okay. And oil price, you can see oil continue to much higher. Again, because now they are saying that the economy is doing well with the deficit, with the stimulus package coming up. That's why crude oil should go higher. And of course, this is why I told you guys cost to the economy is not important as long as the economy can buy into it. That's why now you see crude oil cost has went up by another 10% in just 4 days, but the market doesn't really care. So that's why I keep on saying this. As long as crude oil is up, the equity market in general will still be also going up. All right. Now, is there any technical level watch out for crude oil in terms of resistance? Well, honestly, yeah, went past my 65 level. So the next level that really makes more sense is somewhere around here, and that is about 66. But this morning already gap up above that. So unless the market fill the gap, if not itself at the moment now to buy, you're buying at the high brim level. And if you look back onto history, you can consider even further back, and that is approximately around here where the market did a crossover, and that was 68.80 level, 68.80. So if you're looking to find a top to short the crude oil, I won't really advise you to do that but if you really want, then you can consider look at 68.80. Right, 68.80 for the crude oil. If you really want to short crude for whatever reason you want to do that. Okay, so this is my personal sharing at this moment right now. Okay. Okay, there's some selling in Hang Seng. There's some selling in Hang Seng. Hang Seng is coming off right now. Earlier, it did try to rebound, right? But now it's coming off. So not too sure what happened, but probably the Chinese market is open. That's why the profit taking comes in. Because the Chinese market now, apparently, what I heard is that the property prices in China has went up by almost 40% in just span of under 3 months ever since the COVID. They opened up the whole economy for after COVID. So not too sure that this will create a problem, but I know my friends in China, they're having great difficulty now to refinance their home, of course, and buy new homes. So again, this is going to be a very touch and go thingy. Traders, if you want to be careful, just go slow. Now, Bitcoin, again, on Sunday, did very well. 3 wins out of 3 trades. Again, wonderful stuff. Now, I'm working very, very, very closely with AIMS, and we are looking to do something incredible for all of you guys, all the TWB students. Please be on standby. The great announcement might be out by 20th of March. Okay, we are just only 12 days away. All right, going to be very good for you guys. If really, if this thing really come out, all right, it could be a big, big, big change and make you guys will be trading even on those trading on Bitcoin. All right, so give me some time. The good news shall be out very, very soon. Okay, so that is Bitcoin. So let's look at Bitcoin for today, shall we? Now, Bitcoin today is trading above the pivot 1. So above pivot 1 means that the market is going to go up. The market is going to go up, all right, staying above pivot 1. And of course, based on my TSCB, you can see over here itself today's pivot 1 and my CB line is very near to one another. So as long as the market stays above OP today, Bitcoin could be going up. So of course, if Bitcoin goes up, then maybe the market will be very happier with Tesla, right? Tesla share have been coming down quite a fair bit recently. But of course, if the general market is still going to sell on the tech shares, even Bitcoin goes higher, right? Tesla share will still be having the selling pressure, okay? But of course, if the tech stock recovers, the recovery comes in and then Bitcoin also go up, then of course Tesla shares to recover, it is very possible. Now for today, as long as market stable of OP, the chance of the Bitcoin going to even 54,000 in the near term, it is very possible, okay? At least for now, as long as the market status quo, okay? All right, so this is very important for Bitcoin traders. Okay, now before we go into the special sharing, if you guys are happy with the technical analysis, you can now leave from this MAO, because after that, from here, I'm going to show you some other stuff once again that there's nothing to do with the market. And again, it could be more towards the bearish side, which some traders are not that happy with me saying those stuff. So they rather want to stay focused on the technicality part. So now will be a good time to exit from the MAO, okay? All right, just give me a moment. I get some water. I give you 10 seconds to exit. Okay, all right, if you're still here, I'm gonna continue my MAO right now. Now, which country had this problem? All right, I'll give you guys now time to tell me this is actually, it really happened. It really happened to a country. All right, if you can actually spot that some words on the first picture, and if you can read that language, you will know that which country am I actually talking about. Which country do you think is this? Now, what's happening here is that this is the money that been printed and it's all everywhere and no one is bothered because that money has gone so cheap that it becomes useless. Some people actually use it for wallpaper. Oh my God, using money for wallpaper, and kids using it to play games like Lego. Oh my God, these are real money, really real money. Again, this is really real money. All right. Okay, you're answering me now. Venezuela, no. This happened back many years ago, as many as probably 100 years ago. All right, about 100 years ago. Okay, all right. Chile, no, not Chile. Okay, yes, Eileen, Stanley, Andrew. Okay, you got it right. If you actually can read German, this is a German language, all right? This happened in Germany. Yes, in Germany, back in 1923. In 1923, it's all right, after the World War, all right? Apparently, at one point, the mark got so ridiculously cheap, become even, the Weimar Republic, all right? So what happened is that you can see people taking cartloads of money to go in to buy stuff, okay? To buy stuff, just to buy one milk or buy, a can of Coke. Of course, it's just joking, like then no Coke yet, but it's something along that direction, maybe a loaf of bread. So this is what happened back in 1918 after the World War. The value of one gold mark in paper mark, look at it, oh my goodness, it went exorbitant, ridiculous, it even went beyond. So if you think that, a big country like Germany wouldn't have such a history, you're actually very wrong. All right, indeed. Oh, Kelly, you know that at the Weimar Republic, there was a time, okay, like this, okay, there was a time like this. So what does it do with us here? So, well, apparently it's all right, if USA doesn't really take care of what they're doing right, there is a small possibility that it may spill over to something like this. Now, I'm not saying that the US dollar will go down so badly, but there is a possible chance. So for last night, when people asking me, Kel, how can, if the equity market and gold is going down at the same time, how can the gold go up? Now, if you remember back then in 2009, after the Lehman crisis, what we did was that in USA, the Federal Reserve came in and pumped so much money, $3.5 trillion into the market, but the dollar impact was felt 2 years later. 2 years later, by 2011, commodity prices shoot up all the way, and of course, gold went up all the way from $1,000 to $1,009 back then. 2 years later. So now think back again. When did Federal Reserve start to pump in money into the system? It was back in 2019, September back then, when they do the repo operation. So if you do believe in history, if you take 2019 September and plus back 2 years, right, we should actually see approximately 2021 September period, all right? So which means now today is March, and I said this, from now in about 6 to 9 months, we will see commodity prices going up like crazy. And let's say history do repeat itself, all right, 3.5 trillion plus today another 1.9 trillion. I'm going to tell you this, the market will feel it very fast. So when that happens, obviously gold price will be going higher. And of course, we are making money, right? You're Singaporean or you're from other countries, you use the current currency now to buy something like gold, example, and if gold prices goes up later on itself, right, you're making in US dollar, all right, when you convert over, it doesn't make much money, but you think about this itself, right, you can keep the US dollar, and later on, if ever gold, US dollar start to again appreciate, you can make back the money again. So there's a lot of ways to do this, but what I'm trying to explain to you now itself is that, okay? Okay, this is something that to just take note of that, all right? So again, this is from Norman Trader. He is saying that this is the Nasdaq 100 index versus the S&P 500 large cap index. So it's actually a combination of two index. They do a ratio out. So apparently something like this have happened back in 1999. That was absolutely high. And apparently now we are actually much higher than that, but it seems that there is a double top possibility. So what I'm trying to say for Norman Trader is that if traders, if you believe in history, could it mean that there will be a sell-off in the two market in the near term? So again, you make your own decision. I'm not here to justify. I'm here to just inform you and pass on the message. All right, so dear all, once again, if you don't know what I said yesterday, please go back to watch the replay on the our Trade with the Boys revision group itself, right? This one will really help you a lot. Okay, you can understand how to use the rate of change. You can also understand why I say that there will be a next commodity run. And of course, if you can actually pay attention, you can actually capture this. You can be the next M traders, already. All right. So guys, remember, you can go on and look on it. This is what I shared yesterday, and I also talked about the sector rotation and why the commodities market now is actually telling you the market might be near the top itself. All right. So tomorrow, Super Tuesday, I'll spend more time on the ROC part. I'll show you more example and how you guys can use these ROC techniques to do into even the US stock market or even local stocks. All right, that will be all for today. Thank you guys for holding on once again. Okay, all right, wish you all the best. And ladies, again, happy 8th of March. Okay, always a Chinese word, not that nice. So happy 8th of March, and may you enjoy this lovely day. Gentlemen, please take care and love your ladies. All right, guys, take care. Have a great day. Bye-bye.